If you're wondering what it is like to work with me, today is your lucky day because I'm coaching a person live on this episode. Welcome to this episode of your Spiritual Business Coach podcast. I am your host, Ashu. I am the coach for light leaders ready to own their fierce self expression and build audiences that trust you with their eyes closed. We do this by integrating feline energy, which helps you birth match made in heaven offers and whisker licking good marketing. And today I have with me Grace, and I would love for you to introduce yourself. What is it that you do and what brought you here?
Hi everyone, I'm Grace, and I guess the simplest words that I can describe about myself is I broke free from my cultural upbringing, from the trauma. I've done a lot of inner work, and right now, during this transformation phase, I'm transforming into like who I really am, the core identity of me, and going back to my authenticity, the childlike version, the joy, the one who just simply doesn't give a shit on what others think or feel in a responsible way. So part of it right now, I'm at this phase that I really want to guide and ignite the fire in others, but I'm still not sure how to go about it because what I'm used to doing before, it's part of my past self. And this time around, another phase, another chapter, like I really need the help in it to navigate through it.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for introducing yourself and for being here. So, first of all, I have your profile open on the side as well, and I want to know a bit more about you saying that you want to help people. Who are these people? Is it specifically, do you have any specific set of people in mind?
Yes, for now, what I'm thinking is women, but I'm not sure if I am coming from a belief that I'm just limiting myself to just women because I'm a woman, or maybe it can be a bigger market. But definitely, the underlying value of that are those who who felt like their fire is dead, or like they need someone to just reignite their fire to remind them their passion, of their joy, of their fire on what really lights them up, what makes them wake up in the morning, get off the bed. That's the target market that I'm really focusing on. I'm trying to do it. I'm actually giving opportunities related to that through my friends, but I want to make it like a more. I want to expand more. I want to get out of my comfort zone and not just with my friends that I know, but even like with strangers. Like if I get the opportunity, they ask me the question. I want to be in that position where I am able to guide them and help rekindle their fire.
Okay, so I like this that we have a very clear statement that you've come up with is to reignite the fire and for people who feel like their fire is dead, right? The question that you said about mainly women, but are you limiting yourself? I want to touch more on that slightly. We'll do like a little
Okay.
section on that. Tell
All
me
right.
what about it makes you feel like you are limiting yourself if you just stick to women.
Well, it's because sometimes in social media I see that okay, there's this women empowerment, independent women, etc., etc. But then for me, I feel like it. I'm in a way putting myself in a cage that okay, just because I was born a woman, I am a straight woman, and then I've the success that I've experienced in igniting the fire in others are all women. Does it automatically mean that my target market are just women because everything is in the flow, everything is successful? But what if there are like men, or there are maybe men who needs to ignite that feminine side of them? So that's in a way one area that I haven't touched. And I just felt like this belief system of mine comes from this. It's like growing up, I felt like someone's telling me this is what you should do, this is what you should do, this and that. Although I'm aware of it, it's like, yes, I want to explore outside the market of women, but then am I holding myself back, or do I need someone to tell me it's okay? Like I'm back to this little child. Okay, Chris, it's okay to try and stuff. Or I just really know that, okay, I just want to focus on women. So I, my indecisiveness It's coming back.
Okay.
What's the Libra rising?
That's all right. What we'll do is, I want you to tell me there is this part of you that feels I will be in a cage if I just focus on women. Is there any part of you also going to the side of I might lose out on people who would not be fitting in this category, but I could have helped?
Yes, actually, you hit that point. Yeah.
Okay, okay. So we've got feelings of putting yourself in a cage. We've got I might lose out on people. That's like
Yeah.
getting fear of being abandoned by people or
Yes.
like missing out. Fear of missing out would be more appropriate
Yeah.
in this situation. Okay. Now I want you to tell me, you said you mostly work with women so far. Have you ever worked with any other person apart from a woman so far right now?
I have some male friends that when I talk to them, they also get the inspiration or the answers they have. But it's more of not igniting the fire, but more of I was able to provide the safe space for them to share their thoughts, to share their
Mhm.
emotions.
Mhm.
But the specific ingredient of like reigniting their fire, I wasn't able to do that. And a
Mhm.
part of me feels like maybe as a woman I have a different experience. So maybe I also feel like maybe I'm not the person that can best help them, or maybe I'm not the one that they're looking for. Which in a way, it also makes sense.
Hmm. Okay. Where I would also want to explore this, but at the same time, great job also getting this experiment out there with your friends already, which I would highly recommend continuing with, where you actually find a friend, a male friend, who would be able to work with you in the reignite your fire dedicatedly. That's one of your action steps, that you
Okay.
find one male friend of yours
Okay.
who you are going to do. You said there's a main ingredient, which I really want to
Mhm.
talk about, but the main ingredient of igniting a fire, you do that aspect with them. Because my next question that I was going to build on was, who do you enjoy working with? It's right now you've been speaking a lot that I've noticed from a space of cultural norms. Do I want to be a rebel or not? And
Mhm.
I feel like I'm in a cage. Like all of those are like, from that, there's always the pain
Mhm.
associated with it. There is no pleasure. Like, who do you
Yeah.
enjoy working with more? Is it women? Is it men? Is it both of them when you're doing it? But since I feel that there's no experience directly as such with
Mhm.
men doing the reignite your fire aspect, I feel like one of your first action steps could be to take a guy, do the reignite your fire, and see which one do you felt like, did you feel the same spark in your fire for men and women? And if you can do multiple people, like do multiple men with reignite your fire, so that not one experience is creating that tainted energy that, oh, this person was not that open, maybe I am not supposed to work with men, because there will be different type of men, and you need to go and experience that in your coaching. Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you think
I love
about
that
this?
idea. I love that idea.
Yeah,
Thank you
because
for
you can't make a decision if you don't have the data. And currently, we don't have the data.
yeah. Sorry, I'm just
Okay.
writing it down.
Yeah, absolutely. Make a note of it and hopefully implement it as soon as possible.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, I love the fact, I'm going to point it out for everyone here as well. You said that I want to help people who feel like their fire is dead and I want to reignite it in them to help them get off their bed. That
Mhm.
sentence that you said there is a very beautiful example of tangible marketing. Tangible marketing is where you say, if you say something like, I want to reignite your fire, that is not tangible. That is very vague, but it still gives you an anchor. So I am not going to dismiss it totally. I am no one to dismiss it or tell you it's right or wrong, because it's telling you what exactly you do. So you know at least a basis of what you do. But when you translate it, how exactly or what exactly happens when you reignite the fire? One of those things are excited to get out of bed. Maybe earlier they dreaded getting out of bed. Maybe they turned their alarm off and just lay in the abyss and thinking of all the things they have to do and just spiraling into overwhelm. That is very tangible. When you say that a person is more likely to work with you or like understand that, okay, you are the person for me. But when you say something like, do you overthink a lot? Do you feel like your fire is dead? That is equivalent to 5 ways to get clients. It's like no spiciness to it or no personality to it. I like to call it like there's no chocolate sauce on this vanilla content. We want some chocolate syrup there on your vanilla content. And before we get there, let's come to what is that core ingredient? You said there is like the specific, do you have any specific frameworks or tools that you use to help people reignite their fire?
Um, so far, what I'm using right now is astrology. That's my main ingredient. And then on the side, there's tarot reading to help them gain like how to take action. The tarot reading would be their guidance, and then the framework, the basics, like what like the most soul aligned way for them. Strategy would be that's where the astrology comes in. That's astrology reading. I guess right now I'm having a hard time. Come to think of it, it's more of how do I measure if it's actually working? Because yes, I did mention I would want to ignite, but do I also want to put in the is it also part of my value to follow up on them or I just reignite? Because I also don't want to be responsible for their journey. So I don't know if it makes any sense.
Okay. First of all, great job calling astrology an ingredient because most of the times when I'm coaching people, I have to go and tell them that your tool is not your identity, it's just a tool. So you've done a great job already calling astrology as like a main ingredient, which is great. Now, coming to the question of the follow up to you, are you helping them reignite your fire or also keeping the fire alive for a
Yeah.
long time? I want you to tell me what feels very doable for you right now.
So right now it's just reigniting the fire. Like I can think of a scenario. I just talk to them and then at the end of the conversation, they say something like, thank you for reminding me. Or maybe in the next day, they'll say, okay, I started doing this again because you encouraged me. For now, with that, there's so much inner joy that I
Okay.
can feel.
Okay. And how many people have you done this with so far?
I feel I didn't keep any track,
That's
any
okay.
record formally, but I feel it's more than 10.
Okay. Cool. And how many of them were paid clients?
None, maybe
Okay.
one,
That's
5.
okay. That's all right. That's great job. You're basically beta testing your offer and you've done like you've gotten maybe testimonials, you've got an
Yeah.
experience on how to structure your session. So that is a great thing that you've done there. Now, what I want you to tell me is I'll give you two options. See
Okay.
what feels good to you. First option is where you go focus solely on reigniting the fire for some time, take on some paid clients, and build your confidence. And then you see that I feel like now I really want to go to the next level. I'm probably getting bored of this. I want more. So I will go ahead and ask those same people if they would like following up with maintaining that fire. I'm thinking of it as like two programs. Reignite your fire, maybe like a one-time call, and then
Mhm.
continue sustaining that fire is like a what 2 month coaching program or something. I don't know, right? So you do that so that you can build confidence, have paid clients, have leads already,
Mhm.
and then you ask them to join the other program because they've already experienced your work. The second option is where you do those two things at the same time. You start with both of those things, where you're reigniting the fire, and on the call itself, that you tell them that, hey, would you like to continue working with me for some time so that we can maintain this fire? Which one sounds like more exciting to you in this moment?
I feel like the first one.
Tell me more. What about it is exciting?
I feel it's because I started like a specific service before, more of like maintaining their fire. That come to think of it, like looking back, it's maintaining their fire. That's what I did like 4 years ago for the past 4 years. And then somehow just recently I just felt I missed a step. And that's where the reigniting fire. comes in. Like, how can you help maintain the fire of someone when they don't even know what their fire is? And that's the blank. And that's why I chose the option one, because I want to start from the basic, from the foundation, because there's no fire to hold. Or it's going to be like a cure method when they don't even know what their fire is. It's like they have a car and everything driving, but then where are you driving to? You're just wasting gas, you're
Mm,
wasting your time. You have to know your destination.
great. Okay. Now that you have reasoned it yourself and you've made the decision yourself, do you think this is something we want to start with? When I say this, like it's like option one. For me, this is option one. So do you think we want to?
Yes, definitely.
Okay. Now, there was one thing that I wanted to do is to give your messaging a glow up. But before that, I want to know, are there any questions that are coming up for you as you're moving forward? Because we've so far touched on your niche, like women and men, how to decide. So
Mhm,
we've got an action step for that. We've got an action step for what could be your main transformation for now. And
mhm.
based on that transformation, you could come up with a service. What else comes up for you?
So far, I feel like just for now, nothing yet is coming up, because I feel like what you said, there's not much data. I need to go out there and explore more, and try. Maybe I'll get some more information or downloads when I'm able to explore it in and ignite the fire this time around with men, or just at least be open to both genders or even other genders. Yeah.
Okay. Now I'm going to bring in a little bit of spirituality because you said the word download because I that means you're working spiritually with
Yeah.
guides, someone you're working with.
Yes.
Whenever you're facing these issues of do I work with women or do I work with men or do I work with both? Do I do this? Do you take consultation from your guides on this?
Yes.
So what
Yes.
have your guides said so far about this?
I actually haven't asked that until you mentioned it. So okay, I forgot to ask that. Because I
Yes.
think the concept of me focusing on women, I think I read somewhere, but I haven't really researched about it, that I have Venus in Aries in the seventh house. That's astrology. So I work best one on one. So I've tried that one on one. It really, there's joy in me. And then I read the part where they said it's best to work with women. So I don't know if it's just the opinion of the writer or it's really like the most aligned. Like, I don't mind working with just women if it means like I'm more aligned with like my calling and everything. But at the same time, I would also don't want to limit myself.
Okay, great. And this is where we turn to the
Mhm.
guides. This is where we want to ask our guides. Like, I do this. So, for example, I work mainly with women spiritual business owners who are women entrepreneurs. But just because you're doing that does not mean that the people who are meant to work with you, who have
Mhm.
soul contracts, who are bound to have
Yeah.
some karmic transactions with you, won't come to you. I still have men reaching out to me and I still work with them. I also have like people who are not spiritual entrepreneurs, like they
Mhm.
don't have a reiki business or something, but they have a normal business, but they are spiritual in general, they will also come to
Mhm.
me. So I'm helping people with like food based businesses and like very unique businesses, but I don't market myself to those people. They come organically. I
Mhm.
market myself to the people that I love working with. That's
Mhm.
where my question to you was that who do you enjoy working with? You really need to find that out. Without that, we will have no basis. And who you work with, you enjoy working with, will also shift over time. I started working with entrepreneurs who were starting out their business journey when I turned into a business coach. And then now I work with entrepreneurs who are like already in their business, want to do
Mhm.
something like go to the next level, maybe launch a group program or something. So that
Mhm.
also will be like you're getting bored of certain things because I'm a
Mhm.
manifesting generator in human design.
Mhm.
So I'll constantly get bored of things and I want to do more,
Yeah.
more, more, different things.
Yeah.
Oh, you're also manifesting generator.
Yes.
Guidance gonna hit home. So you are gonna get bored, but we also don't want to take too many things on our plate, which you have done a really
Yeah.
great job identifying. When I gave you those two options, you chose an option which is doable right now. How do you feel right now?
Um, there's relief, and in a way you help me like break down my thoughts, because like I have so many thoughts as a manager. I want to do this, I'll do all of this. In a way, you're giving me direction that it's okay to start from this. And when you mentioned that you use the word for now, it kind of assured me it's okay. Right now, this is where I am. In the future, maybe in a year, it evolves and it's also okay.
Great. Now I am looking at, and also for everyone listening to this is my first time talking to Grace. I don't know any of her background. I didn't make her fill any forms before the call. So I am really loving how authentic and genuine this conversation is without any background. And now that I have your Instagram open, I'm thinking of moving some things around to make it land more. I'll give you some examples. Now, one example I could give you right now off top of my head would be something like turning birth charts into morning motivation for tired spirits.
Okay.
That's just one example. So I'm trying to make it very tangible. Get out of like there was one very fun one that I came up with. I was writing it while you were on like the call with me. Um, I help burnt out and bedbound people rediscover their fire through astrology. We basically want to tangibilize as much as we
Mhm.
can so that people figure out what it is exactly that you do. Now, if you specifically work with women, you could say helping burnt out and bedbound women rediscover the fire so that they can get out of bed. Well, I would shorten this. I would basically put the sentence into some AI to make it a little
Mhm.
crisp, right? And this could also go into marketing, like your captions and everything. So you could say transforming cosmic insights or transforming astrology charts into morning motivation. I help people who lost their drive reconnect with their purpose through astrology. So we really want that. If astrology is the main ingredient, it's already there in your bio. So currently for the listener, the bio is embrace, ignite, express courageously, confidently, astrology, intentional movement, and then there's an energy healing and tarot. This is the bio right now. While it is very beautiful, it might not convey something as clearly as, like, look at my bio right now, which says helping spiritual baddies. So I'll break this bio down for you to get some ideas, since this is a one-off call. Helping spiritual baddies scale to $10,000 months with feline energy and no burnout. And then I have a free feline training. This is my bio. Let's break this down. When I say helping spiritual baddies, I'm basically talking to my target audience. You could put it as that, helping burnt out women or helping women who've lost their spark. That's a little longer, right? So we want to shorten it because bio cuts it off, right? Then scale to 10K months. So that is my transformation. For your transformation is find your purpose or reignite your fire. This is definitely, I would want you to keep it as a sentence that is a core word in your brand dictionary. Okay. And then I say how. So that is with feline energy and no burnout. In your case, you could say with astrology charts that reveal your purpose, or with astrology charts, tarot guidance, and there was one more thing. This is the healing. So you could say that, whatever feels right to you. If you only want to mention one, you can mention one. That's cool. And then I have a call to action which says free feline training. Now, your thing doesn't have to be free. You could just have, let me see, you have a YouTube link in your bio right now. And the YouTube link leads to a video of your episode, a podcast episode that you
Yeah.
did. Okay. What I want you to do is, that is cool, that is great. I would also, I think there's one of your highlights is scheduling. How do you schedule a session? You
Yeah.
could actually put that as a call to action, where you could say DM me to schedule a session, or DM a specific word to schedule a session. So it could be DM fire emoji to schedule a session, because I literally see fire emojis all over, which is very good because your branding also consists of emojis. So we put DM fire emoji to schedule a session with me or work with me, something like that. And that would remind you every time someone sends a fire emoji, you would realize the person came from the bio. That way, you could have that trackable aspect to
Uh,
it. That where are my clients coming from? Are they coming from my bio? Are they coming from a specific post? And so on.
okay.
How are you feeling so far?
I feel more guided. Yeah, I really like that call to action. It's like, okay, this is what I want to share. And now what? There's nothing. But are you giving me suggestions and ideas on how to go about it?
Great. Okay, now I'm going to step into a full analyzer mode. So far, we were in coaching and I was moving a little bit into the analyzer mode. So, since I have your profile open, I would love to give you some guidance on that. And
Yes.
everyone listening to that, I would highly recommend open your profile right now. So, when you look at your profile, first of all, look at your username. Is your username a brand username, something like your brand name? Is it your name, or is it just like a random thing? It's okay if you have like a personal account and that's what you converted. That also is okay. But if you see, my username is not searchable. It's way far from searchable. It's called Listening Stories Untold. But that is my brand name. That is something that was given to me for almost 5 years ago. So I'm sticking
Mhm.
to it, right? So in your case, we could create something. If you come up with some brand name or something of that sort, we would really love to have it there. Or I also have like some accounts saved by the name of like, I say I'm your spiritual business coach. So I also have an account on Instagram which I've saved for myself if I ever want to shift, which is your spiritual business coach. So that would be something people would search, business coach or something of that sort. So we might want to put that there or your brand name there if you come up with it. Okay. Because we want it to be very easy, something
Yeah.
that people can search easily, something that makes sense, something that doesn't have numbers and stuff going on, because then it gets confusing for people. Then we go to your name section. For your name section, you've put your name there, which is great. We can highlight it even more by adding a bit of keywords that are searched by people. So, in my case, if you would see, it says spiritual business coach for light leaders and speaker. Now, spiritual business coach, people might search for it. I've heard people have searched for it. There was someone who searched and found my page. Then, business coach is also something people search for. Light leaders is also something people search for, and speaker is also something people search for if they want to invite me. That's why I put it there, right? In your case, you could put something that's astrology. Astrology is people definitely something search for. So astrologist is something you could write, right? Or you could write healing, you could write tarot, whatever feels right to you. I would love to work with you in a way where we can come up with a very nice title for you. But a lot of people make mistake of making very fancy titles that no one knows what they're doing. Right? So I was working with this client and her bio said something, let me see. Her bio said helping you find your ethereal wings. Very magical,
Oh,
but it does not convey anything. You could make it more tangible. Yes. So we've got to say Grace, and you don't have to put your full name if you don't want to. That's cool if you want, because then that takes up space, right? Those are three characters that have gone there. People just want to know. Name is very important because people want to know there's a person behind this brand. Who is it that we are talking to? So Grace, and then we put astrologist, helping you find your fire, astrologist for women, if you end up doing that for women specifically, right? So all of that would really make you stand out. Going to your profile picture, it's great that you have a profile picture of yourself and there's like clear picture. I think we could remove the background on Canva or
yeah,
on some random app. You could
yeah.
just remove the background and put a brand color to it. So right now the colors that I'm heavily seeing on your profile are red and green and a bit of yellowish going there somewhere. If that those are your brand colors, great. If they are not, we want to be
Actually,
intentional.
no. Actually, that's actually my page that you're currently seeing. It's a personal page, and it's like just 2 weeks ago I decided that I want to like transform it into a more specific purpose. It's like a scrapbook for the past 4 years.
That's all right. A lot of people do that, and I would say that since you are already having friends who are interested in working with you in some capacity and would probably know people who would want to work with you. In that case, the follower, like it's okay to convert your personal account. For me, I knew my friends are not the kind to work with me in that space, and I didn't want to work with them as such. So I created a separate account. So that's totally cool. Right. So we would want to have finalize your brand colors, do
Yeah.
that. I think red is a good one to start with, but you get to decide and you can ask your guides for it because your
Yeah.
business
Oh
has
my
a
God.
spirit, your offer has a spirit. So you get to ask them, do I want to do this type of offer or that type of offer? I teach all of this inside my containers for people listening to this. Like, what the hell am I talking about? Your business has a spirit, spirit of business, spirit of offer. All of these are people guides who guide you, like a spiritual, real sense spiritual business coaches who guide you on the other plane. Okay, we've got the profile picture done. We've got the bio here. I've already talked about it. The link that you have is cool. If you want to set up any booking links, that will also be appreciated. There are so many free ways that you could set up a booking link where people could book a call with you, or like a discussion call with you, clarity call with you, if that is something you are open to doing. If not, that is
Mhm.
totally cool. Okay. I love that on your profile you have scheduling as the first highlight. Great. And services as the second highlight, which is also great. Then we have the FAQs, which are what is a safe space session? Okay, great. FAQs is also great. Services, tarot readings, all right. And then we have how to schedule a session. Now, what I'm going to say here is I would love to see some reviews, even if they're from your friends, the friends that you've helped so far. If they've not given you a written review, ask them, write a review
Mhm.
for me. Okay. And sometimes it's okay to write a review based on what you remember from the conversation with your friend. Send it to them and say, is it okay if I put this on my profile as a review from you? You can actually do that because people are sometimes too lazy to write reviews. So we go ahead and put a reviews highlight that would also build a bit of your credibility. The scheduling highlight, I might change the name of scheduling to how to book, something like that, something more simpler. And then I love that the first pinned post on your profile is a service that you would want people to have, which is great. A couple other things that you could pin, because you can pin three things on your profile at
Yeah.
once. You could pin a story about yourself, like who you are, where you're from. Let me just see if you have a post for that.
I don't have there. I have
Yeah,
it in my
I
ask.
photo there. So there's a photo of you. I would love for that photo, like with the red couch and everything. This the photo. You could use that. Make a post about yourself, who you are, what you do. Feel free to look at my profile. Take as much inspiration you need. So there's like a third post is, "Hi, I'm Ashu. I'm your spiritual business coach, and I need to revamp this post." So always the reintroduction is always helpful. You pin that post, you pin your safe sessions post or whatever scheduling, like how do I schedule my session, that post needs to be pinned so that the moment the person comes to you, they know. Because right now we don't have a website, and that's okay. You don't need a website to make sales, but we do want it pinned on your profile so that the person knows already, and multiple touch points, because people need to see your offers a couple of times before they actually decide to buy. If they land on your profile, on your bio, they see the offer, DM this to book a call. On your highlights, they're seeing the offer, which is the second touch point. Then on your the pinned post, they're again seeing that post of your service. They've already seen it thrice. If you add your link in bio to it, where you have like a scheduling link, that's four times that your offer has already been seen in one screen, which is great. The more touch points we have, the more we talk about our offer, the more likely the person is to actually consider it. It's like, think of it like a billboard effect, where you have so many billboards of the same thing, and you're like, what
Mhm.
the hell is this ice cream? Or what the hell is this everyone's talking about? Maybe I should try it when I see it next time. So staying on top of mind really helps. That is all that I would say for now, because I know I've given a lot of homework for you to implement. How do you feel about this?
I don't see it as a homework. I see it as an adventure where I can like just explore. I'm
I
really seeing a lot of loopholes that I haven't done. I know there's joy, but then sometimes like a child, so much joy, but then there's no structure. Like, where am I going with all that joy? It's like in a way, I'm wasting all of this, but now you're giving me the structure on how to redirect my energy and my focus.
I'm so glad that this helped you, Grace. And that is exactly what I like to call myself because I have some Virgo placements in my chart as well. And I love organizing the shit out of people's business. But at the same time, we do it spiritually. Everything, people listening to this, everything that I'm talking to Grace about, if you're listening to this in March, you can get on to Cosmic Sales Elixir, which is exactly where I help you with your content, with your bio, with your LinkedIn bio. Literally, all of it gets covered in Cosmic Sales Elixir. The link will be in the show notes for you to discover it. Grace, would you like to say anything at the end of this episode of the entire experience? And then we can wrap this up.
I guess, well, just I really want to say thank you. And then for others, when they get the chance and when they really feel called to it, or ask their guides also, at least get a chance to have like, if you have discovery call, just take that opportunity to have that call for with you. Because for me, personal experience right now, it's giving me a lot of clarity. Like I know what I want. Someone gave me a lot of ingredients, but then what do I do with this? How can I make this more structured and organized? Because I have to start somewhere. I just cannot do the service and then okay, what do we do next when the client asks? And I'll be like, I don't know. I don't want to be that kind of person. So this is really giving me the responsibility and the discipline to put at least and also to monetize what brings me joy because that's what I want in the end.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Grace, for mentioning that. And I am so proud of you. Plus, also, I am so honored that you came on the podcast and shared your life so vulnerably. And I really want you to be monetizing really soon. And yes, I do have a discovery call for anyone looking to work with me privately. Go ahead, drop me a message on Listening Stories Untold at Instagram. And that will be all for today's episode. Thank you for tuning into your Spiritual Business Coach podcast and for listening to this episode. If you're feeling a little too generous, I would love for you to drop me a review or rating on whatever platform you're listening this on. And if you feel a nudge to work with me or to just tell me how you felt about this episode or want to talk to Grace, I'll connect you to her. You want to reignite your passion with astrology, text me. I'll send you her link and drop me a message on Instagram at Listening Stories Untold. I will see you in the next episode.